Hey guys, it's Nick, and it's that part of the year. The trade deadline is on. As we go into trade deadline Monday this week, and the Blackhawks get the trade deadline going on their end. Yes, a few weeks ago the Hawks hired Kyle Davidson as full-time GM, and he said we're going to be going into a rebuild. And his first major trade as GM of the Chicago Blackhawks, as full-time GM of the Chicago Blackhawks, happened today. When it dropped that the Chicago Blackhawks are trading number 38, Brandon the Bagel Hagel, out of the organization. Right there you could think, this is going to be terrible. This is stupid. In my opinion, yeah, at that time, it's a stupid idea to move Hagel out of the team. He's a player you should build a team with. Because we're going into a rebuild, they should have thought, okay, Hagel's really good. Let's try and build around with him, with Alex DeBrincat. But no, that's not going to happen. Brandon Hagel got traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning. And the Hawks, they got quite a bit in return. One thing I do disagree with on how this trade went down for the Hawks, I will get into it. The Hawks traded Brandon Hagel. They get a couple prospects, they get a couple picks in return. But trading away a 23-year-old potential 30-goal scorer to the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Lightning got themselves a hell of a player. You know it. We all know it. Since last year, Hagel became a fan favorite throughout the fan base. And this year, he's become a star. And he got traded today. So, let's get into the full trade details. So, the Blackhawks traded Brandon Hagel to the Tampa Bay Lightning, the two-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, as they look on to go to win their third in a row. So, Hagel got dealt to the Lightning with two fourth-round picks, our 2022 fourth-round pick for this year, and the 2024 fourth-round pick for 2 years from now. So the Hawks gave up Hagel, who has a great contract, who probably at the end of his contract is going to be fetching upwards of $5.5 to $6 million. That's how good Hagel is. So the Hawks traded away Hagel with 2 years remaining on his contract that he signed at the beginning of the season this year over to Tampa. What is it the Hawks are going to be getting? Because this is interesting. Let's get into the Blackhawks side of this trade. So here's what the Hawks are getting. Two players in Taylor Radish, who's actually we'll get into in a second, and Boris Kachuk. And then we get two, not just one, two first-round draft picks. But here's where it's interesting. Taylor Radish, he has some history with being on a line with two players already on the Chicago Blackhawks, playing down in the OHL with the Erie Otters. And those two players are number 12, Alex DeBrincat, and number 17, Dylan Strome. I'm saying it right now. I don't know what's going to happen with Strome at the deadline, because there's been rumors he could be getting traded at the trade deadline. But maybe it's smart to keep Strome around. I really think it would be smart to keep Dylan Strome around on this team. But Radish has history playing with DeBrincat and Strome. But let's get into the trades for the draft picks that the Hawks acquired. They got a 2023 first round pick, which has conditions, and also the 2024 first round pick with conditions. Those conditions are they're top 10 protected. Let's be honest, I'm knocking on wood right now because Tampa Bay, they're viewed as a Stanley Cup contender for the next few years. And those top two protections, hopefully they don't fall out of a playoff spot and they drop into the top 10 of a draft because those picks will move up years. So like the 2023 pick, if Tampa was in the top 10 of the draft, that will actually move up in 2025. And same with the 2024 pick. That will go to 2026. That right there is scary. There's also another thing. Tampa Bay still has their 2022 first round pick. What is it the Hawks don't have this year? Is their 2022 first round pick. Why wouldn't Kyle Davidson have forced Tampa's hand and acquired a first round pick for this year? Because you know it won't be protected because Tampa Bay is going to contend for a Stanley Cup. I would have been more happy on that part if the Hawks would have acquired the first round pick from Tampa this year. Granted, it's going to be a low first round pick. Hopefully that's the same case here in 2023 and 24 because if it's a low first round pick, that means it doesn't move to years later. The Hawks need picks because they're a rebuilding team. They got quite a bit for Hagel, but let's get into the final part of this video. So, Brandon Hagel getting traded with 2 4th-round picks for 2 first-round picks and Taylor Radish and Boris Kachuk. That's a heavy return. The Hawks get prospects, they get first-round picks. Granted, they have stipulations with those, but it sucks to see Brandon Hagel go. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on this trade because the Hawks got quite a bit for Hagel. He's a player I was saying the Hawks should build with players like Alex DeBrincat, Brandon Hagel, Lucas Reichel, Kirby Dach, Dylan Strome. Those are players you should build with. And then they traded away Hagel. Later on in the day, more have come out, and it involves the captain, Jonathan Toews. He took an interview with Mark Lazarus, and you could tell if in the interview he was pretty upset about Hagel being traded. I will post the link to the Athletic article from Mark Lazarus on Jonathan Toews in the description down below. So you guys, if you haven't seen it already, you guys can read it. I'm not going to get into full details on that. But you could tell players are angry, especially Jonathan Toews, at this trade. So I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are on it because the Hawks got a lot for Hagel, but I still think Hagel should have been a part to build with. So thank you for watching the broadcast. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And most of all, it's deadline week. It sucks.